Hello students, good morning to all of you. Students, in today's class we are going to learn about circular motion and then we learn about the uniform circular motion. Now, first we discuss about some important terms in the circular motion. Okay? Suppose we have a circular path, okay, and the radius of the path is r with center O. Okay. Initially, the particle at any instant of time at location P. Okay. And after a certain interval del t, this is at time t equal to t. After a certain interval, let's say del t, the particle is reached at location Q. Okay, when we join it with the center, we get the particle swept an angle theta. Okay, now here initially we use some terms like the particle is moving with the linear velocity which is acting in the direction of the arc P to Q. Okay, and by doing so the particle is moving from P to Q. It covers a linear displacement which is equal to x according to the linear velocity from this point to this. Okay, the path from the center at r distance, which is radius of the circle. Now we have understood about the three important terms, which is first we have the angular displacement. Angular displacement. Okay. Angular displacement, it is denoted by this theta. Okay. And it is equal to the angle swept by the radial vector at the center when it is moving anti-clockwise direction. Okay, this is the motion of the particle from point P to the circle path anti-clockwise. Okay, so just first write angular displacement. Okay, as per your previous knowledge, as you learned that this is equal to, this theta is given by length of r. You can also define in the same manner, length of r to the radius of the circular path. Radius of path. Okay, that means this theta is equal to length of r is x upon radius r. Okay, this is the value of angular displacement. Now we just define in the term of first angular term and then we are using this one. Just write angular displacement is defined as the angle traced out by the radius vector at the center of a circular path in given time. It is denoted by theta, that is angular displacement is equal to path traced by the particle from P to Q with the radius vector r. Okay. Now, if we use this path from P to Q in linear format x, then we can use it as theta is equal to x upon r. This is the angular displacement. Okay. Now we can use it in the form of linear displacement as x is equal to r theta. This relation is known as linear and angular displacement. Okay. It is a vector quantity. It is a vector quantity whose direction is determined by using direction is given by using right hand thumb rule, or by using the right hand screw rule. Okay, right hand screw rule. According to this rule, if we stretch our right hand facing palm like that, the thumb is perpendicular to the finger, and when we curl our finger such that the thumb is perpendicular to the curling finger, then if the direction of rotation is given by the curling of finger, okay, then the thumb gives the direction of the angular physical quantities like displacement, or we discuss after it. Okay, so just write about this rule. This rule states that right hand thumb rule states that if the curl finger of right hand represents the sense of rotation of the object, then thumb held perpendicular to the curl of finger represent the direction of angular displacement vector. Okay, see, if the particle is doing anti-clockwise direction, as per the curl of finger gives the sense of this rotation, then the thumb perpendicular to the curling finger is always indicates the direction of this displacement vector, which is outward. Okay, next, angular velocity. Okay, this is denoted by using omega. Okay, and it is defined as the rate of change of angular displacement. Angular velocity is defined as the rate of change of angular displacement, that is omega is equal to d theta upon d. Okay, now what is theta? From displacement we get this theta is equal to x upon r. Okay, now by using this relation here we get omega d over dt x upon r. Now this r is constant for the rotation of the particle across the circle. So this is omega is equal to 1 upon r, and we get dx over dt. And you know that the differentiation of displacement with respect to time is linear velocity. Okay, so this omega is equal to v upon r, because v is equal to dx over dt, rate of change of displacement. Okay, now we get from here velocity is equal to r cross omega. Okay, so in the vector terms, linear velocity is defined in the product of, or in the cross product of, the radial vector to the angular velocity of rotation of the body. Clear? This is known as, this is relation between linear and angular velocity. Okay, now just we learn about some important fact about omega. Suppose a particle is executing a circular motion. After a certain time, it will complete one rotation. Okay, so you can say that this omega is equal to theta upon t, as per the definition, rate of change of angular displacement. So after a certain time, how much angle is swept by the particle if it complete one complete rotation? So it is equal to theta is 360 degrees. Okay, and in radian term, this 360 is equal to 2 pi. Here we use this, so this will become 2 pi upon t. This is the another form of angular velocity. Okay, in the term of time. Now, as you know that this time is reciprocal of frequency. Okay, so you can use here 1 upon t is equal to f. Where we use here f for the frequency. This is frequency. Okay, now by using this relation here, we get this 2 pi is equal to omega is equal to 2 pi nu. And from here you have this omega. From this equation A, you have this omega for angular velocity as the ratio of the linear velocity to the radius of the circular path. Clear? Now we have the complete idea related to this omega is v upon r, theta upon t, 2 pi upon t is equal to 2 pi nu. Okay, so the numerical based on this angular concept or related to basically the angular velocity, you need to remind all the things to calculate your numerical. Okay, now it is a vector quantity. It is a vector quantity. Okay, so whose direction is determined by again right hand thumb rule, and its SI unit is theta upon t, theta for radian and t is second, so it will be radian per second. Okay, sometimes it is termed as rotation per second, as you find in your motorbike or automobiles speedometer, RPM. Okay, it is similar to that, rotation per second. Okay, now next term is the angular acceleration. Angular acceleration. Okay, now again, as you will define the linear acceleration in the ratio of the rate of change of velocity, here we are using angular acceleration is defined as the rate of change of angular velocity, right? It is defined as the rate of change of angular velocity. Okay, it is denoted by alpha. It is denoted by alpha. Okay, now we can define angular acceleration is equal to rate of change in angular velocity to time. That means alpha is equal to d omega upon dt. Okay, now what we have omega? From this relation we have, from v r omega, we get this omega is equal to v upon r. Okay, now using this relation, here we get this alpha is equal to d over dt v upon r. Again this r is constant taken out from the differential operator d over dt. We get this alpha is equal to 1 upon r dv over dt. Now this is rate of change of velocity, that is acceleration, 1 upon r into t. Therefore we can write this alpha is equal to v upon small a upon r, or small a is the cross product of r cross alpha. Now all three are the vector quantities, that is vector a, vector r and vector alpha. That means angular acceleration is also vector whose direction is determined by right hand thumb. Okay, now what is the unit of this angular acceleration? From the definition, its unit is radian per second upon second. That means radian per second. Its unit is radian per second square. Now, just tell me, any one of you, the dimensional formula for the angular acceleration. So, the dimensional formula for this, t minus 2, L0 t minus 2. Why? Because it is in the radial form, okay, and we are discussing it in the radial form, so the angle swept by the particle is in numeral value. That means 2 pi either 360, and it is the numeral, it do not has any dimensional formula. So we have only time, which is on the this. Okay? So you can use displacement t minus 1 only. You can use for velocity, displacement is no dimension, velocity is t minus 1, which is equal to the frequency, and this value acceleration is t minus as dimension. Clear? Now write. Understood? Okay. Uniform circular motion. Okay. When we are discussed about the uniform circular motion, first I want to ask some questions to all of you. What you understood about the uniform circular? Okay. Now we will start to learn about uniform acceleration. Okay. The two things which are important to know about uniform acceleration, that when a particle is executing uniform acceleration, so its speed is constant with time. Speed is constant with time, but its velocity is not constant, because it will be different for the different instant of time. And the direction of velocity executing circular motion of a particle is determined by using or drawing a tangent to the point on the circumference of its path. Okay. For example, if for any instant, let's say t, the particle at point P, so if you define the velocity or determine to velocity at this point P, you need to draw a tangent. Then you will get the velocity direction at point P. Okay? And when after some time the particle is reached at point Q, you need to draw a tangent again on the point to the periphery, which gives you the direction of velocity. And similarly, after a certain instant, the particle is reached at point R, then you, when drew the tangent to the circle at point R, you will get its directional velocity. And similarly, when it reached here at S point, so the tangent drawn to the point S gives you the direction of velocity. Okay, 2 or 3 things we just understood from here only. It is observed that for time t1, for time t2, for time t3 and for time t4, which means at different interval of time, the particle at the different places and the velocity direction is determined by drawing a tangent on the particle to the circle for that point, and it is observed that at every point the radius vector is at 90 to the linear velocity. Okay, that means it is an accelerated motion which is always facing to the center. Okay, which means the acceleration acting on it is always acting inward to the center, which keeps particle in the circular motion, or trying to keep particle in the circular motion. So we can say the acceleration acting at different points is also constant, because it is always 90 degree, or we can say normal to the linear velocity at every instant of time and in different positions. So we can say the speed is constant, speed constant, acceleration acting always, acceleration always towards center, always towards center. So we can say it is also constant, which try to maintain its circular path. And third point, velocity is variable. Velocity is not constant. Okay, this will be keeps on changing with its motion. Okay, so these are three terms which is important. Now first write a uniform circular motion. When a particle, uniform circular motion, when a particle is moving on a circular path, is moving on a circular path with a constant speed, then the motion of the particle is said to be, uniform circular motion. Okay, here students, it is very clear, because it is doing a constant speed motion. That means it cover equal arc in equal interval of time. Okay, that means if we are finding from P to Q, the time taken by the particle is T1. Okay, and it covers the arc is equal to PQ. Then after time T1, it will again cover the same path equal to this PQ from Q to R. That means arc PQ is equal to RQ. Then its motion is said to be in uniform speed. Okay. Next, some important terms in uniform circular motion. Uniform circular motion is UCM. Okay, right. Some important terms in UCM. First, time period. Okay, this is the time taken by particle to complete one rotation. The time period is defined as the time taken by the particle time taken by the particle to complete one revolution of its circular path. That is, T is equal to CF of its path. Okay, so you can use this wait, it is generated by T, and after the time it will complete one rotation. So always remember it is equal to 2 pi r. Okay, just second is time period, frequency. What is frequency? Number of complete rotation in 1 second. Okay, right. The number of revolution complete by the particle. The number of revolution complete by the particle of its circular path in unit time. Of its circular path in unit time. It is denoted by F power nu. Okay, ग्रीक लेटर है nu. Or you can also define the frequency in the term of time as frequency is reciprocal of time. That is, F is equal to 1 upon time. Okay, wait, इससे नहीं करते हैं, just we are doing from the definition of frequency. What is, according to definition, the frequency is given by number of complete rotation to time taken by it. Okay, now if the particle complete only one rotation, one revolution in 1 second, that means in t second. Okay, then we say that this frequency is equal to 1 upon t. Now you can again define frequency as the reciprocal. Clear? After this, frequency is also defined in the reciprocal of time. ठीक है? Its SI unit is second inverse, because the frequency we use very widely in our study, so it is honored as the name of scientist Hertz. Okay, so frequency of time, unit of frequency is second inverse, or you can say Hertz. Next, relation between angular velocity, frequency and time. Relation between angular velocity, frequency and time. As we done before, that omega is equal to theta upon t. Okay, and this theta is equal to the angle swept by it in complete rotation is equal to 2 pi upon t. And you just find this 1 upon t is equal to frequency, so this is equal to 2 pi f. This is the relation between angular velocity, frequency and time period. Okay, next. very important term is angular centripetal acceleration.